You are listening to your auntie's favorite DJ, DJ Tricey Trice.
What the pot? What the pot? What the pot? What the pot?
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to What the Pod. I go by the name of DJ Tricey Trice, your auntie's favorite DJ, and now your fairy pod mother. What the Pod is a podcast that recommends new shows for you to listen to. Thank you so much for joining in with me on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Let's jump right into today's show. Now, I'm starting today's show with a really dope announcement. Spring, the industry-defining creator commerce platform, announced a new partnership with Acast, the world's leading independent podcast company. Now, thousands of Acast podcasters soon can use Spring's 360 commerce solution to create, promote, distribute everything from custom products and clothing to NFTs for their community of listeners. Now, podcasting and NFTs are slowly coming together in the industry. This is a huge step in the money-making direction for creators. So shouts out to Acast and Spring for this dope collaboration. Looking out for us, man. All right, let's jump into the first podcast that I'm checking out today, and that is F Your Comfort Zone with Margie Haber. Margie is notorious for being LA's #1 acting coach, and my wife recently got to take a class at her studio, which was super dope. My wife then tells me that Tiffany Haddish was on her recent episode of the podcast, and I had to check it out. So earlier this year, Tiffany Haddish came into our apartment building downtown, and she did a pop-up comedy show. She was super down to earth and literally was just standing up there talking. It didn't even seem like she was telling any jokes. I was instantly a super Tiffany Haddish fan at that point, and we'll be listening to any podcast that she is on. So check out the F Your Comfort Zone podcast with me today with Margie Haber. The second podcast I'm checking out is the Imposter Terminator podcast. And it's even trademarked by the host Inez Paydar. You go, girl. You better trademark that. If you're going to teach me how to forever defeat imposter syndrome, then I will follow you forever. Check out the Imposter Terminator podcast with me today. And the final podcast that I'm checking out today is Nostalgia, of course, because I'm a traumatized and burnt out millennial. The podcast is called 60 Songs That Explain the 90s, and these episodes dissect how songs change culture. Now, most of you know that I'm your auntie's favorite DJ, the queen of all 90s music and twerk vibes. So trust me when I say, I don't know how they got a whole hour episode about the song Whoop, There It Is. Most of the song lyrics are, in fact, Whoop, There It Is. I can't name any other song lyric, and I'm sure you cannot either. So listen to this podcast with me. Episode, it's called Whoop, There It Is, of the 60 songs that explain the 90s. Thank you so much for listening to What the Pod. If you liked any of my podcast picks, then share my show with your friends. As always, click the link down in the show notes to follow me on Spotify and listen along to these pods with me. Let me know your favorites on TikTok and follow me at DJ Tricey Trice. That's DJ TRICEY. If you love me and my show, give me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'll check back in with you tomorrow where I'll give you 3 new podcasts for you to listen to.